So, good day, ma'am. Today I will be discussing the Philippine Prisons Bureau of Corrections. So, Bureau of Corrections maintains 7 correctional facilities strategically located all over the country. So, the first one that I am going to discuss is the San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. So, San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. The San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm was established on August 21, 1869 in Zamboanga City during the time of Governor General Ramon Blanco. It was also for the confinement of political offenders. So next is Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm. Established on November 16, 1904 through the authority of Governor Luke Wright. Inmates who are well-behaved and declared tractable were assigned to this colony. So, ang mga prison na bilong sa Iwahig Prison is itong mga tao na mga well-behaved or mga tao na di na capable mo takas. And the Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm is also known as the prison without walls. The colony is divided into 4 sub-colonies, namely Santa Lucia Subcolony, Inagawan Subcolony, Montebol Subcolony, and Central Subcolony. So, next is Correctional Institution for Women. In 1931, the Correctional Institution for Women was established on an 18-hectare piece of land in Mandaluyong, Rizal by authority of Act 3579. So, sa panganadaan, Correctional Institution for Women, bot pasabot, ang yaan ng mga inmates is mga babae. So, next is Davao Prison and Penal Farm. Formerly called Davao Penal Colony, was created pursuant to Act number 37332 in January 21, 1932 and is located in the district of Panabo and Tagum in Davao del Norte. The Davao Penal Colony is the first penal settlement founded and organized under the Filipino administration. So, ang Davao Prison Penal Farm is considered as one of the biggest farm type prison sa tibuok Pilipinas. So ang mga prison or inmates na yaon sa Davao Prison and Penal Farm is ginaspend nila ang most sa time is ginaspend nila through farm work. New Bilibid Prison, established in Muntinlupa by virtue of Commonwealth Act number 67 on November 15, 1940. The 3 security camps are maximum, medium, minimum security compound. So, the New Bilibid Prison is ang pinakadako na prison sa Pilipinas, entero Pilipinas. So, ang mga tao na yaon sa New Bilibid Prison is itong mga tao na grabe na ka-serious ang mga krimen na gibuhat. The last 2 is the Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm. So, the Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm was established on September 26, 1954 by virtue of Presidential Proclamation number 72. The penal colony has total land area of approximately 16,190 hectares. 3 sub-colonies is a protected rainforest reservation and relocation site for Mount Pinatubo Refugee. So the final correctional facility in the Philippines is the Leyte Regional Prison. So the Leyte Regional Prison was established a year after the declaration of martial law in 1972. The prison admits convicted offenders from Region 6 and from the National Penitentiary. So that's it for the 7 prison and penal farms in the Philippines. So next is we are going to discuss the mandate, mission, functions of the Bucor. So mandate. The Bucor shall be in charge of safekeeping and instituting reformation programs to national PDL sentenced to more than 3 years. So, the mandate, ang Bucor is sila ang in charge mag-safekeep o mag-conduct ng mga reformation programs para sa mga PDL. So, next is mission. To contribute to the protection of the society by ensuring that the PDL confined at Bucor are completely incapacitated from further committing criminal acts through instituting effective safekeeping and by engaging in different reformation programs to become a products and law-abiding members of society upon release. So, ang mission ng Bucor is para itong mga inmates or itong mga preso is dili na makakommit auto ng crime para pagawas nila is they will become a productive and law-abiding citizens. So the next is functions. So there are a total of 7 functions of the Bucor. To extend exemplary public service, Bucor commits to: first, implement effective and strong security measures for all confined PDL. Next is provide PDL with the basic necessaries in accordance with existing domestic and international laws, rules, and regulations. Ensures that PDL undergo holistic rehabilitation program para mabago ang mga preso, and establish linkages with other government agencies and non-government organizations that will support reintegration of released PDL with society. Select highly qualified and competent personnel and empower them through continuous training and development programs. Provide adequate correction facilities, and lastly, continually improve the effectiveness of the quality management system. I will be discussing is about the minimum qualifications for uniformed personnel. So the first is you must be a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines and a person of good moral character, must have passed the psychiatric, psychological, drug and physical test for the purpose of determining his or her physical and mental health. And next, must possess a baccalaureate degree from a recognized learning institution. Must possess the appropriate civil service eligibility. Must not have been dishonorably discharged or dismissed for cause from previous employment. Must not have been convinced by final judgment of an offense or crime involving moral turpitude, and must be at least 1 meter and 57 centimeters in height for males and 1 meter and 52 centimeters for females. And lastly, a new applicant must not be less than 21 or more than 40 years of age. So those are the minimum qualifications for uniformed personnel. Admission and confinement of PDL. Reception and Diagnostic Center, RDC. Every newly committed PDL shall be mandatorily housed at the RDC for not more than 60 days, comprising of a 5-day quarantine period and a 55-day orientation, diagnostic evaluation, and initial security classification. After which, he or she shall be transferred to his or her assigned corrections facility based on the approved resolution of the RDC Initial Classification Board. So basically, kung ang isa ka inmate dili din siya dito i-proceed sa assigned na correctional facility. So they must go first to the RDC or the Reception and Diagnostic Center 5 days, a total of 60 days, 5 days for quarantine and 55 days for orientation, diagnostic, evaluation, and initial security classification. So these are the admission process. So first is Mitimus or commitment order must bear the dry seal of the court and the signature of the judge, or recommitment order, information and court decision in the case, certificate of detention, if any, certification of an appeal, non-appeal, and no pending case, provincial form 335, jail booking sheet with mugshots, detainees manifestation, certificate of GCT, WTASTM and STAL, and pregnancy test for female offenders, medical certificate and medical records, chest x-ray result, drug dependency examination certificate result as required in the case decision, and lastly, other related documents that may be required prior to the admission. Any deficiency or lacking in the aforementioned requirements shall be a sufficient ground for RDC to refuse or deny admission. Next is body search of PDL and personal belongings. So first is personal belongings or effects of PDL. So itong mga gamit nila na before sila isod is i-check na ang ilang mga gamit para safe, kung safe ba. And then wearing of jewelry, so yung mga alahas or ano ba na one is dapat i-keep taguon para dili mawara or dili magamit sa mga dili amo na mga button. And then next is money and medicines kung itong mga PDL na may mga sakit na may ilang maintenance gina-check para ila i-take kada adlaw. And then confiscation of contraband, so itong mga before ang isa ka PDL isod sa prisuhan, i-check na ang ilang mga gamit kung i-confiscate itong mga, for example, mga kutsilyo or mga gamit na maka-cause ng harm sa iba na mga PDL or mga priso. Next is receiving. So receiving means the process of officially accepting a PDL into a correctional facility. So yaon na nga ang mga record sa PDL o ang mga details na check sa PDL. So sa receiving, registration logbook, all committed PDL shall be officially recorded and must contain the basic entries to it. So first is name of PDL, so pangalan sa PDL, jail of origin, date and hour of admission, name of court, name of escort, contact number, email address if any, and name of receiving officer. So issuance of certificate of appearance to the committing officer, the jail police committing personnel shall be issued an appropriate certificate of appearance by the overseer office without delay, and whether the purpose of the appearance is completely or otherwise upon presentation of proper identification, credentials, and a mission order directive. So receiving, taking of fingerprints for the registration form, criminal fingerprint chart, and registration sheet form shall be conducted by the identification unit simultaneously with the taking of mugshots and photographs for the carpets conducted by photography unit. The original copy of the documents comprising the carpeta shall be forwarded to the PDL. Documents Processing Division or PDPD. Duplicate original certified true copy of the documents comprising the carpeta shall be forwarded to the respective PDL. Documents Processing Sections and Overseer Sections of Correctional Facility. So next part sa receiving is ang PDL number and issuance of PDL provisions. A male PDL shall undergo the regulation haircut and his beard mustache must be shaved off. So sa mga PDL may ilagyapon rules na kung ano kahaba ang buhok o ang mga ila bungot o mustache, beard is dapat gi-shave. And an admission slip shall be given to the security and housing unit and kitchen and mess hall unit, which shall indicate where the PDL will be quarantined. So next is quarantine. When a new PDL arrives, they stay in a separate area for a short time. So, yan na time is mahitabo ang medical psychiatric examination. So, i-check ang ilakuan mental health og ilang mental health. So, next is an interview of the PDL by the overseer section. So, while gay quarantine, gi-interview ang PDL ng isa ka overseer, i-check kung unang iya background, ibali tunan kung unang iya background and assignment of PDL. After the quarantine period, the PDL shall be transferred to a regular cell as assigned by the overseer. So after sa quarantine, i-assign na dahil ng overseer ang PDL kung hain siya ma-assign na cell. Next is mandatory orientation. So the PDL shall be oriented on the corrections facilities rules and regulations, PDL rights and privileges, diagnostics, procedures, PDL reformation programs, health services, time allowance, and PDL grievance machinery. So, sa mandatory orientation, i-inform ang kwan or i-orient ang isa ka PDL or ang mga PDL about sa rules ng correctional facility and o kung unang ila pwede buhaton, ang kaya nila buhaton o ano ang ila rights na mabuhat o kung ano ang ila privilege. So, PDL diagnostics. So, first is medical assessment. So, sa medical assessment, i-check ang ila health. Then, next is sociology assessment, which i-tanaw ng ila social background and behavior, kung ano sila mag-behave sa kwan, ng sila sa gawas. And then, psychology assessment, checks mental health, kung okay pa ba sila sa ila pangisip. Then, educational assessment, i-check kung ano ang ila level of thinking, kung ano sila mag-isip o ano sila ka kibali, ano sila ka bright. And then vocational skills assessment, ngani i-check ang ila mga skills o ano mga abilities or kung ano ang ila kakayahan ug hain sila mas makahibaw. This classifications of PDL. Number 1 is mental health, and number 2 is physical capability and capacity, ang ilang mga kakayahan, and educational attainment, skills and talents, and lastly is prior occupation. So next is the security classifications of PDL. So there are 3 classifications, which are the first is the maximum security, the minimum security, and the medium security. So first, let's tackle about the maximum security. So inside the people who are inside the maximum security are those sentenced with capital offenses, those whose minimum sentence is above 20 years imprisonment, those whose sentence is on appeal before the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court, those with pending cases, those who are considered as recidivist, habitual delinquents and escapees, those confined at reception and diagnostic center, those under disciplinary punishment or safekeeping, those who are criminally insane, or those with severe personality or emotional disorders that make them dangerous to fellow PDL or the Bucor officer personnel. And lastly, high risk, high profile and violent extremist offenders. So basically sa maximum security is yaon nga na ang mga tao na mga grabe na kadelikado na pagkakuan. So delikado na sila sa iba na mga PDL o sa mga tao sa nagabantay sa ila. So next is ang medium security. So inside the medium security, those whose sentence of imprisonment is 20 years and below, those who have 2 or more records of escapes, and first offenders sentenced to life imprisonment. So ngani sa medium security is medyo tama da balance da, dili kung malalai na kumpara sa maximum security. So lastly is ang minimum security. So sa minimum security, those without pending case and whom convictions are not on appeal, those with severe physical handicaps as certified by the medical officers. So handicaps both pasabot yung mga kibali, for example may mga disabilities or may kibali pungkol, may paaway ka mga hodyaon. Those who are 65 years old and above, so mga 65 years old na di na siya di na yan capable maka-harm sa ibang tao. Those who have served 1/2 of their minimum sentence or 1/3 of their maximum sentence excluding Good Conduct Time Allowance or GCTA, those who have only 6 months more to serve before the expirations of their maximum sentence. So, kani sa minimum security, yung mga tao na di na capable mo takas kay siyempre may ang iban may di na kakaya kay may ilang mga disabilities or mga handicaps, ang iban mga hinuod na or mga tiguwang na, and ang iban is hapit na magagawas. So next is transfer of PDL. Transfer of PDL to another OPPF. So a PDL may be transferred by the Director General upon the recommendation of the PDL Transfer Board concerned to another OPPF. A transfer of PDL within OPPF. A PDL may be transferred within the OPPF based on the approved resolution of the Classification Board or deemed necessary for security reasons. A PDL transfer must be duly covered by a correction order issued by the superintendent. So, pwede i-transfer ang isa ka PDL if for security purposes or reasons. And then, so next is the transfer requirements. So there are a total of 11 requirements. So the first one is certificate of pending or no pending case, and certificate of on appeal or non-appeal, medical diagnostic record, visitation registration form, case management record, case information decision, detainees manifestation, certificate of detention, certificate of GCTA or other time allowance from jail, 4 2x2 ID photo, and lastly, number 11 is registration form. Movement of PDL outside security camps. So amin yung pag sa isa ka piso, pagbalhin or for reasons. So number 1 is to appear in court subject to the condition that an express authority of the Supreme Court is obtained upon proper application to affect the transfer of a PDL. To appear before in any congressional inquiry in aid of legislations, for medical examination, treatment, or hospitalization in an outside clinic or hospital kung may isa ka PDL, may masakit, mayan ng point na pwede sila ibalhin. There are one of this, which is the emergency referral or regular referral. And then number 4 is PDL may be allowed to view the remains of her relatives upon written application and submission of original or certificate or certified true copies of local civil registrar of the death certificate, the burial permit, and the documents specified hereunder. So, ng isa number 4 is allowed ang isa ka PDL igawas pag may para mo bisita sa ila relatives na yapatay. So there are 6 na cover ng sa number 4. Number 1 is marriage certificate, contract, birth certificate of the child and marriage certificate of the PDL or birth certificate of the child only in case of unmarried parents, birth certificate of brother, sister, and birth certificate of the PDL, birth certificate of the PDL, father, mother, birth certificate of the grandchild and of the latter's parent who is the child of the PDL, grandchild, or lastly, the birth certificate of the PDL and her parent who is the child of the deceased grandparent. So number 5, CIW PDL, visit to the PDL relatives confined to the nearest OPPF. And lastly, number 6, when performing work institutional assignments outside security camps. Kung number 6, kung may ila trabahoon or mga ipatrabaho sa ila na assignments outside of their correctional facility. Escorting. Primary duties of escort personnel. Escort personnel shall always exercise extreme caution and shall ensure that the PDL does not first escape. Dapat i-ensure na dili makatakas ang PDL, and then next is converse with unauthorized persons, yung magkikuan sa iba ng mga tao, and obtain forbidden articles, especially intoxicants or weapons. So dapat dili sila makakuha ng mga gamit like mga kutsilyo or iba na pwede magamit as a weapon. And then annoy passerby, magsamok-samok sa mga manlabay ng mga tao. And then lastly, suffer harm and humiliation. So basic escort procedures. While in transit, the PDL shall not be allowed to stop at any place or contact any person until the destination is reached. So samtang nga pa sa in transit, so ang PDL is dili sila allowed na mupara sa bisan hain na lugar or makig-contact or makig-istorya sa iban ng mga tao samtang wala pa sila maka-abot sa destination. A PDL shall at all times be placed under proper restraints, handcuffs. However, for escort duties for court hearing, the same shall be removed only upon the instructions of the judge. A PDL shall be returned to the correction facility immediately after the purpose of the pass has been served. So basically, samtang yaon pang ang PDL, dapat may iya handcuffs unless lamang kung magkuha ng judge, mo instruct ang judge na pwede na tanggalon. And after sa yan na kuan, dapat immediately ibalik dahil ng PDL sa iya correctional facility or corrections facility. And next is the use of privately owned vehicle in transporting a PDL is prohibited. So bawal mo sakay sa mga private na mga sakyanan. Dapat kung una yung kuan na sakyan or uno na vehicle ang gamiton para sa pag-transfer or pag-escort sa isa ka PDL, amo dagad dito gamiton, dili kong private or ibanda na mga kuan vehicles. So next is court hearing. At least 2 corrections officers for every PDL. And then next, 2 or more PDL are to be escorted. The number of corrections officer may be reduced proportionally without sacrificing security requirements. High profile, high risk, BO, high value target, additional escort personnel shall be assigned. Procedure during outside movement of PDL. Before departure from the corrections facility, mission order record of PDL given to, first is the mission order records of PDL must be given to escort personnel. And transfer during daylight, dapat adlaw i-transfer, dili kung gabi. Detailed instruction. Search for contraband or weapons, i-search ang PDL kung may iya ba mga bit-bit na weapons or possible makakos ng harm sa mga tao. And then handcuffed, grouped in pairs by rope. So dapat may iya handcuff. PDL shall stay inside the corrections facility premises until the vehicle to be used in transporting him or her is ready for boarding. The PDL shall board a motor vehicle ahead of the escort personnel. And then next, B is in transit. While in transit, instruments of restraints intact. Itong handcuffed. Escort position clear of civilians. So sa ilang kuanan is walay mga civilians, walay mga tao. Escort be with PDL at all times. Head count of PDL every turnover. Bali, pag mag-turnover na, i-count off ang mga PDL. Escort personnel shall always walk behind. So ang PDL is dapat yaon sa front, then ang escort is yari sa likod. Kung duha man, Yaon dapat sila sa likod. If armed, the escort personnel shall not sit, stand, or walk. So kung may armas, dapat ang escort personnel dili malingkod, mutindog og iban pa mga. And then the escort personnel shall not pass any unauthorized transit. So next, C. Arrival at destination. If in public transportation, last to go out. And then instrument of restraint may be removed at the authorized destination if there is no danger of escape. So kung yakabot na, kung positive na wala na yung mahitabo na pagtakas or naman na or dangerous, then pwede na tanggalon ang handcuff sa PDL. The escort personnel shall return the PDL to the correction facility of origin as soon as the purpose of the outside movement has been served. So same gay na, as soon as na matapos na ang purpose na nayaon siya sa gawas, dapat immediately ibalik na yan siya sa corrections facility. We are going to discuss is the rights and privilege of a PDL. So first is to receive unauthorized compensation for any work or institutional assignment he or she performs. So every time na may iyakuan assignment or kung ano na mga madayon na gibuhat is may madawat sila na, for example, a reward kabali. Then to receive authorized visitors kung para may ilang magbisita, to send and receive mail matter, and to practice his or her religion or faith sa ila pagtuo kung religious siya na pagkatao, to be credited with time allowance such as good conduct time allowance or GCTA, special time allowance for loyalty, and time allowance for studying, teaching, and mentoring where applicable, and to ventilate his or her grievances through proper channel. So, number 1, to receive an authorized compensation for any work or institutional assignment he or she performs. An able-bodied PDL may be required to work for 8 hours a day. However, in the interest of service, he/she may be required to work on extended hours or Sunday and holidays. Persons with disability and elderly may be excused to participate in work assignments that involve heavy, rigid, or physical exhausting task or workload. Medium and minimum security PDL shall be allowed to work in agricultural projects and other general services. Maximum security PDL shall only be allowed to do institutional assignments within the maximum security cap. Then, next, number 2. To receive authorized visitors, a PDL shall have the right to be visited by his or her authorized and registered immediate family member and reputable friends. So, ang isa ka PDL may ila rights na bisitahon ng ila friends, family, or kung sino da ka ng mga kila. Visiting days and hours. A PDL may be visited from Wednesday to Sunday at 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or in accordance with the rules and regulations set and approved by the superintendent as the need arises. To send and receive mail matter. All mail sent to received by a PDL, as well as magazines, books, periodicals, and all reading matters shall be subjected to censorship to prevent the entry of contraband and the entry or exit of information that may adversely affect the security of the corrections facility. To practice his or her religion or faith. The religious beliefs and moral precepts of a PDL shall be respected. So, pag may iyag gituuhan, dapat respetuhon ng mga personnel nagkabantay. Then, next, number 5. To be credited with time allowance such as good conduct time allowance, special time allowance for loyalty, time allowance for studying, teaching, and mentoring where applicable. Good conduct time allowance. So, ang good conduct time allowance is a privilege granted to a prisoner whether detained or convicted by final judgments entitling him to a reduction of his jail or prison term for every month of actual detention of or service of sentence as a reward for good conduct and exemplary behavior. So, good conduct time allowance in simple terms, mas kabali kung dayawang imo ginabuhat sa sud sa prison, then may deduction na mahitabo sa imo term or time sud sa prison, or in simple in a more simple mas madali ka makagawas kung madayaw ang imo ginabuhat sud sa prison. And then time allowance for study, teaching, and mentoring. It is a privilege granted as a reward for having earned a postgraduate degree or a college degree, a certificate of completion of a vocational or technical skills or values development course, a high school or elementary diploma, or to one serving his fellow prisoner as teacher or mentor while incarcerated. So, the allowance for study, teaching, and mentoring. So, kabali kung may imo kabali kay ba ko mo tudlo or mag-mentor sa mga kabali tudloan mo yung mga iban na PDL, kabali sa mga butang na angay buhaton, then may chance na mo may deduction sa imo term so sa prison. Then lastly, special time allowance for loyalty, a privilege granted to a prisoner whether detained or convicted by a final judgment who has evaded preventive imprisonment or service of sentence under the circumstances cited in Article 158 of the Revised Penal Code as amended and surrendered to the authorities within 48 hours following the proclamation announcing the passing away of calamity or catastrophe referred to in unsaid article in the form of a deduction. So, basically, kung for example, may linog ni hitabo sa prison, then gubot da, ang iban mga preso is yung gawas na, yung takas na iban, then yaon mas gipili mo na stay loyal sa sa prison. Mas gipili mo magstay kaysa mo takas, then may deduction na mukuan sa imo time. So who may grant GCTA? Sino ang mga tao na may capable mo grant ng GCTA sa isa ka PDL? So let's discuss. The following officials may grant good conduct time allowances when lawfully justified. First, the Director of the Bureau of Corrections. And then, the Chief of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. And then, the third one is the Warden of a Provincial, District, Municipal, or City Jail. Inmates who exhibit good behavior and have no record of breaking prison rules or violating discipline may be eligible for GCTA. The Management Screening and Evaluation Committee reviews the request for time allowance and recommends appropriate actions to prison authorities. The last one, the sixth rights and privileges of a PDL is to ventilate her grievances through proper channels. PDL grievances machinery. PDL Complaints Information and Assistance Center. The center shall act on all written complaints that are not palpably frivolous, as well as requests for information and assistance of PDL within 72 hours for receipt thereof. Discipline of PDL. A Board of Discipline (BOD) office shall be established and maintained in each camp of the OPPF. OPPF means other penal and prison facility. So, chairperson, vice chairperson, secretary, prosecutor, members, camp commander, deputy camp commander, BOD administrative staff, chief investigation, reformation coordinator, medical officer, chief overseer. So, next is the PDL release. So when can a PDL be released? So a PDL may be released for imprisonment upon any of the following circumstances. Number 1, by maximum expiration of his or her sentence. So for example, 20 years ang iya time of sentence, then minlabay na ang 20 years, then syempre pwede na siya magawas because time na niya para i-release. And then number 2 is by order of the court or competent authority. So kung may order na gikan sa taas na pwede na yan siya ipagawas for a specific reason. And then number 3 is after being granted a parole, provision, or pardon, amnesty, or any other or any other form of executive clemency. So persons authorized to release PDLs. Number 1, Supreme Court or lower courts in case of case dismissal, acquittal, or bail. Number 2 is President in the exercise of the executive clemency. Number 3, DOJ through BBP when granted parole. Number 4, a Director General for served sentences. Separate and placement order. 30 days before scheduled date of release, a PDL shall be transferred to the separation and placement center to prepare him or her for re-entry into the free society. So, para ma-prepare siya pag makagalugwa na siya, and provided she is not under punishment or an escape risk and is cleared of his or her government property accountability. So, mayon kung provided na siya is di na kung under punishment, like free na gid siya ang isa ka PDL. And then legal release of PDL before and after election. The Director General required by law to keep prisoners in their custody shall not order or allow any prisoner detained in the National Penitentiary to leave the premises 60 days before and 30 days after the election. So next is custodial security. Security conditions of security camp, perimeter fences. Maximum and medium security compounds must maintain 2 parallel security barriers or perimeter fences provided with sufficient lighting, fixtures, and CCTV cameras to prevent escapees or prison breaks. So, dapat may may duha ka barrier or fences na may provided ng klaro or bright na light para makita kung may mga tao ba na mo try pag-escape. And main perimeter fences, main height from finished grade line to top not less than 4 meters and 1 meter for barbed or concertina wire at 10-meter horizontal spacing on top. Secondary fence is welded wire steel matting. Minimum height from the finished grade line to the top is 2.50 meter, and 0.60 meter shall be added for barbed concertina wire plus 0.60 meter barbed concertina at 0.10 meter horizontal spacing on top. Minimum distance of the nearest PDL dormitory or building wall to the secondary perimeter fence is 10 meters, and minimum distance from the secondary to maintain perimeter fence or internal clear zone is 4 meters. External clear zone, the area of the outside perimeter from the main wall is 50 meters. So the last and final topic that I'm going to discuss is the reformation programs. So moral and spiritual programs. This refers to the moral, spiritual, and values formation of PDL and personnel, including the practice of one's religion and beliefs by creating, developing, and implementing religious programming and moral and spiritual care. It is supervised by the chief chaplain, and supplemented by religious volunteers representing major faith groups. So, syempre, pag may ato moral and spiritual programs, mas modasig ang mga ang mga inmates na mubag-o og mo follow sa mga madayaw na butang or madayaw na mga buhaton. And then, education and training program. This refers to the administration of the formal and non-formal education and skills development training for PDL. So, education and training program, syempre, pag may ihaw din na program para mo educate ang mga ang mga inmates or mga PDL, syempre, kay most of the PDL is walay education, wala eskwela. Then this is education and training program is good for the PDLs. Work and livelihood program. This refers to the administration of skills development programs on work and livelihood to achieve self-sufficiency of PDL in the correctional community and for income generation of the agency. And then next is sports and recreation program. This refers to the administration of physical and recreational engagement of PDL to achieve mental alertness and physical agility in the spirit of sportsmanship. So, syempre, para dili sila kung puro squad lamang, yung mga butang na walay mga physical na mga training or hawd sa mga recreational na mga engagement like mga basketball, volleyball, or onta ka ng mga dula na makapa sa ila pagbago. And the next is health and welfare program. This refers to the physical wellness of PDL, including mentally impaired, elderly, and persons with disability. So, para ma-check ang ilang mga health, kung okay pa sila, kung may ilang mga yakuha na sakit, dapat may ila health and welfare program para ma-check ang mga kada isa sa mga inmates or mga PDL. And then lastly, behavior and modification programs. These refer to the administration of programs for the character formation of PDL necessary for effective personal growth and interpersonal relationship in the prison community. The program includes modified therapeutic community modality program and other related programs for effective management of antisocial and destructive behavior of a PDL. So that's it for our discussion. Thank you for watching and have a great and wonderful day, everyone, and Merry Christmas.